Today, in honor of the first Omen, we're drinking holy water. Ooh, forgot to bless it. There we go, that's more like it. Prequels are something I rarely ever get excited for. They rarely ever feel to me like they justify their existence. Doubly so with horror prequels, and certainly The Omen didn't need one. I mean, what were they going to do? Baby Damien? It just seemed really unnecessary. And yet, this is a nice little surprise. Firstly, it's quite odd this came out so close to Immaculate because they're really quite similar and they both follow American women who go to Italian convents and uncover some sinister conspiracy theories to do with women's autonomy over their bodies. In that way, they really feel like sister films. I mean, they are sister films because nuns... I won't make a habit of that. Divine. So I don't need to say a lot about the plot of the film, but our film is led by Nell Tiger-Free, who I admit I wasn't massively aware of before seeing this, and I thought she did a really good job at giving a bit of an intense performance at times and incredibly emotive when the story demanded it. We also have small supporting roles with the likes of Bill Nye and Ralph Ineson, who does a good job as an expositional priest. I think the film looked pretty interesting. It had a sort of retro 70s vibe initially to suit the setting of the film, and also had a lot of genuinely strong cinematography choices, just some good framing in this. There isn't a lot of jump scares as well, to the film's credit, but there is some unsettling ideas and some real creepy visuals throughout the film, and I have to say, I was surprised how far into the body horror aspects it went. That really worked. I can't say I was overly scared by the film, but certainly it did create a nice horrific atmosphere, and the score really added to that atmosphere, as much as that score lay heavily on the work of Jerry Goldsmith, who gave us the original score. Oh, Jesus. 2 hours for a horror film can be a little bit much for me, but I'm happy to say this one didn't overstay its welcome. It was brisk and generally well paced. I would say as well there's a twist in the film, and while I wasn't maybe all the way there, I was certainly in the ballpark, and that kind of prevented it from being a home run altogether, but I do think that twist is still pretty effective overall. I would say you probably don't need to have seen the original to enjoy this film until you get to the case of prequel-itis, where they make connections to the original film and answer questions nobody asked, or questions we already knew the answers to in the case of this, which all come towards the end of the film. I would say most of the references to the original film feel like they're coming from the death scenes. There's a few that feel like callbacks, and there's one that feels like it's trying to deliberately one-up the original, in which case, you know, But aside from that, those awkward scenes where it's connecting to the original film just feel a little bit out of place, a little bit post-credit scene-y, and yeah, are totally unnecessary. You're never going to believe what they call this kid. Yes, despite some minor misgivings, this is a major win. I enjoyed this way more than I expected to do. They managed to deliver something that was delightfully devilish, thanks to some interesting and at times extreme visuals, a strong lead performance, and a good-looking sound. And when you put all that together, it managed to escape the clutches of bad prequels. And with that in mind, the first Omen has got milk. Hail Satan.